All right, it is time. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name's Darren. I appreciate you being here. If you've already watched any of my videos, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new here, I talk about F1 cards. I do some unboxing, and I also show off some slabs, things like that. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate it. I'll be ripping more over the next couple of months, including some of what we're talking about today. So make sure you stay tuned. Before we get into the video, by the way, I got a new camera. I hope this video looks okay. Let me know in the comments if it does. I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail about why I got a new camera, but essentially I was using my iPhone through OBS. So if you've ever watched any of my previous videos, you might have noticed there was sometimes a bit of a lag or like a glitch, and I think it was because of my phone. So I got a camera, I have a light. Hopefully it looks okay. But anyway, enough of that. So the big reason why I'm doing this video is to talk about the checklist and the parallels and all that good stuff of F1 Chrome 2025. Got announced like a week ago, I think. Pre-orders went live. They sold out pretty quick, but I was able to get 2 boxes. Let me know if you were able to get some. I'm pretty excited about it. So we're going to go over a bunch of it. If at the end of this video you have any additional questions, just throw them in the comments or DM me on Instagram at ripstopcards, and I'll do my best to answer them. Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to the Reddit group F1 Cards. There was a couple people in that subreddit that had specific questions and told me they would benefit from a video like this since they're pretty new to the hobby. So I'm going to be going over what you might say are some basics here, but I won't spend a lot of time on them. Obviously, if you're not new to cards, this might be a bit of overkill for you, but just bear with me. I want to make sure that those who are watching that don't know a lot about cards get all the information. When I started out, it was really confusing, so I want to make it as easy as possible for everyone else. So let's do it. All right, so I hope you guys can see my screen here. If not, something has gone terribly wrong, but here is the main website for the checklist of Chrome 2025. Now, this is on Beckett's website, obviously very reputable, so if there's any mistakes, blame them, not me. So it's the 75th anniversary of F1 this year, and as you can see, it says hobby boxes will include a special 75th anniversary pack of exclusive inserts. So that means that we're getting 21 packs per box instead of 20, which is kind of cool, I would say. And also, Blasters are going to guarantee collectors a pair of retail exclusive inserts, which we'll talk about. There we go. Hopefully I'm a little more in the middle now. So here we go. Breaking it down from the very beginning, we have F1 drivers, F2 drivers, and F3 drivers, which we'll talk about. F1 cars, Grand Prix winners, pole position, driver of the day, award winners, legends, duo, team logo cards, on the move, and team principals. That is what the base set consists of. So for my new people, new to the hobby, here's the easiest way I can explain this. Think back to when you were a kid and you would get a baseball card or a basketball card, and it would be made of paper, right? It would be like a paper stock. So for F1, they don't make paper stock cards anymore. For baseball and basketball and things like that, Topps do. But for F1, they stopped doing it after 2022. So since 2023, the lowest entry point to each release is Chrome. Now, to make things even more confusing, there are different sets like Topps Finest F1 and things like that, which kind of are printed on more of a paper style card, even though it's thicker. But for the main set, which is just Topps F1 2025, the lowest entry point that you're going to be able to get is Chrome. So that's the base of everything. So Chrome is essentially like a thick cardboard type card, almost like very thick stock. As you can see on the screen, it's got just kind of like a metal vibe. So this is what is called a base card, and that's what it's going to look like right there. So we have the base card of George Russell, his portrait card. I think it looks all right. What do you guys think? I don't mind the design. Kind of going for like a futuristic looking thing, but I think it looks all right. So again, for the new people, this is a base card. So all of these listed right here, F1 drivers all the way down to team principals, they're going to have this style of card, and that'll be from card number 1 to 200, plus the inserts. So that's what a normal base card looks like for Chrome. And now we're going to move on to parallels, and I'll break this all down for you. So as we can see here, all 200 cards have 32 parallels between hobby and value blaster boxes, with a handful of concepts exclusive to each box type. Now, what does that mean? All that means is for this card, this George Russell card, for example, this is his base Chrome card, worth nothing, right? Like $1 or less. George Russell's base card is also going to be available in all of these different parallels. And a parallel is just this card in a different color. That's all that is. It's called a parallel because it runs in parallel with the base set, meaning it's the same images. So if you can see here, I wouldn't even call a refractor a parallel, but for this argument, we'll say it's a parallel. A refractor is the next step up from the base card of George Russell. A refractor is a Chrome card with like a lot more shine. It almost has like a rainbow finish on, if that makes sense. So you've got a refractor, you've got a checkered flag, and so on, all the way down to the superfractor, which is one of one. There's only one of those made for the entire print run. So for the new people, things like red, if you can see here, red ray wave, red checkered flag, red refractor. So there'll be, for example, this George Russell will come in a red version, and red is usually out of 5 for tops. Some of these are not numbered, even though they're considered a parallel. They're just non-numbered parallels, which sometimes you can do the math and figure out how many were made. But most of these are numbered parallels. Gold is always 50. Green has been 99 in the past. So you get the idea. But every card in the base set will have all of these parallels. So here is an example of, I don't know what that would be. Maybe like a pink ray wave, this one? Yeah. So this looks like Lando Norris's car card, pink ray wave, I would guess. 1 out of 250, meaning there's 250 of those. So anyway, you can see here, they've listed all of them, but I've also made this document. And if you guys are interested in this document, just let me know and I will send it to you. Or I will, put it this way, if it's in the description of this video, just download it. If not, just hit me up and I will send it to you. But I used ChatGPT to kind of like create this document. So you can see here, it's got the pack odds, which is what these numbers are right here. So these are all pack odds. So checkered flag is 1 out of every 20 packs, which means 1 per box essentially. So if you look at mine, checkered flag, 1 out of every 20 packs, sorry. And then I put this because I thought this might be helpful. So estimated amount of them per box. So I hope that makes sense. Again, be happy to send this to you. So the most common ones are going to be things like checkered flags. You get 1 in every box. Black and white ray wave, black and white laser refractors, excuse me. 1 in every 2.8 boxes. So roughly, 1 in 3 boxes. And then it gets a lot more rare, right? So that's kind of how it is as far as getting parallels. It's just the luck of the draw. This also shows you how many of the card parallel you would get in a case to really show how rare it is. So remember, 4 cards per pack usually, 20 packs per box, 12 boxes per case. So for example, the orange checker flag, there's less than 1 in every case. So, 1 in every maybe case and a half or something like that. So that kind of gives you an idea of how these break down. Now, this is for hobby. You'll hear that term thrown around a lot. A hobby box, which is the normal box of Chrome with, you know, the 20 packs. So that's what this is. There is a value box as well, which we'll talk about. But right now we're just talking about hobby boxes, the ones that cost whatever it was, $200 or something. So that's what one of the parallels looks like. Now, if we go back over here, and we go to common inserts, we'll talk about this. So an insert is a card that isn't in the base set, meaning 1 through 200. It's just a different style card, but it still comes in Topps Chrome 2025. Meaning, for example, you can see here the helmet collection. That's a very popular insert that came out last year. They brought them back this year. So there'll be probably 10, I would guess. I forgot to look at the checklist, but probably around 10 helmet collection cards. And all of those cards will also have parallels. So it gets confusing, but it's cool because it's a bunch of different cards. You end up kind of collecting what you want. So I've broken this up into common inserts and uncommon. Each year, there's anywhere between, 3 to 6 common, maybe like 4 to 6 common inserts. This year there's 6. So 1975 Speed Wheels, Ace of Trades, Diamond Drivers, Floret, Helmet Collection, and Speed Demons. Those are all the normal common inserts, if you will. So, roughly 1 per box, so 1 every half box. So probably 2 per box of any of these inserts, if that makes sense. And then you have uncommon inserts. These are way more difficult to hit inserts. So Neon Nations, that should say Futuro. And the chain, I don't know what that is. Anyway, so yeah, you have more uncommon inserts. You can see here, estimated per case, 1 per case, or a half per case. So those are what we would call a case hit. It's a big card. And again, you can get all these parallels with them. And then we have SSP, which are just super short prints, so even more uncommon inserts. And you can see here the odds of those. Helix, Ultrasonic, Vegas at Night, which I'm very interested in. F-175th logo and the grid. And then you have brand new this year, the Grail insert, which is, I'll show you what that is in a second. Look at these odds. Roughly 1 per 297 boxes. I asked ChatGPT what you'd have to do to hit one of those cards, and it said open something like 24 cases, something ridiculous. So anyway, the easiest way to think about it all is these 3: uncommon, exclusive, super short prints, and the Grail. Those are just way more rare inserts. But as far as the base set goes, it is cards 1 through 200 and these 6 insert sets. Usually people group the insert sets in with those cards, so with the base set. So I hope that makes sense. Now we're going to go down here and we're going to talk about autographs. So you can see here this says signatures start out with 66 cards in Chrome autograph. So I guess that would mean 66 images of the base set have been turned into an autograph. That's what I'm assuming. There's your pack odds, 1 in every 77 packs. So what is that, like 20, 40, 3 point something boxes? And the autographs themselves have these parallels, as you can see here. So not every parallel, but some of them. And you can also see here that some of these say value, which I'll go over in a second. But this is what one of the autograph cards looks like. This isn't Oscar Piastri's portrait. This is just his, I guess you could say, secondary image. And this is the superfractor version. This is the 1 of 1 superfractor. 1 in 23,000 packs. So do the math. So yeah, I've actually never pulled an autograph. So hopefully I can. But again, I only bought 2 boxes, so we'll see. So that's what the autographs look like. Moving down, we have Circuit Masters Signatures, which is the next level up of easiest signatures to get. So you can see here, these are the next easiest signatures to find while other concepts play off of inserts, meaning there'll also be inserts with signatures on them as well. This is Jackie Stewart, Circuit Masters, veteran legendary F1 driver. So I think it's pretty cool. You know, more decent chance to hit an autograph. And then you can see here, this is what everyone lost their mind about. So this is Lewis Hamilton, obviously. And as you can see here, the difference between these two autographs and this one is these are signed on a little sticker, if you will. So Topps would bring a bunch of stickers to Oscar Piastri and he would just sign all the stickers, and then Topps would put them on the cards. Whereas this one is called an on-card autograph. It means Lewis Hamilton held that card in his hand and autographed it. And you can see here, Lewis Hamilton signed 6 cards, 5 red refractors. So cards 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 out of 5 for this red one, and the super refractor. That's it. There's no other on-card autos. There is rookie debut patch autographs for for Isaac and Gabriel Bortoleto, which I also think is cool because I know they do rookie debut patches for other sports. So it's cool to see them introduce that into F1 as well. Now for autographs, just a side note, I did not include them on this list. Maybe I will, but I just didn't starting out. So anyway, and real quick, just want to show you, if we can scroll down here, this is what is called the checklist, right? So it shows 1 to 200 of all the cards in the base set, right? So now you can kind of figure out what it's going to look like. What I'm very excited about is the fact that they've brought back team logo cards. I am very excited for that personally. I don't know if you guys care about that as much, but they had that in 2020, and that's like, it was an insert set back then, I think. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think they just look so cool. Just a very simple team card, I think looks awesome. I know they did them in Turbo Attacks last year, and I think this year. But yeah, for Chrome, they haven't done them in a while. So I'm excited to check those out. You can see here, there's the duo cards, which is like, I'm guessing the teammates, legends cards. So Mika Hakkinen, Senna is my PC. I collect him the most. F1 on the Move, team principles. So if you want to look at like the actual checklist and see what your base set's going to look like, this is it. But point of all that is, last time you can see here, they have F1 cards, right? So Max Verstappen all the way down to Gabriel Bortoleto, a separate card for each driver. And it's usually them in their car, which is what this picture up here looks like. The thing that sucked about 2024 that everyone was mad about, which it was annoying, was for F2 and F3, they also put car cards in there. So then you are just getting a product with way, way less, less of a chance to hit anything cool specifically for F1. It's all, it's way more F2 and F3. So they seem to have done away with that. I guess they listened to all of us complain. So now there's only F1 car cards. And for F2 and F3, it looks like it's just the portraits, which is cool. Because sometimes you can get a hit on an F2 driver portrait and they end up coming in F1, and there you go. Like, for example, last year, Kimi Antonelli, his portrait in Chrome last year is him as an F2 driver. It's a Future Stars because it's referencing the 2024 season. And I have 2 parallels of his out of 75, so from that year. So I think that's pretty cool. This year, Kimi Antonelli is listed as a rookie card. As you can see right here, that's what RC means, rookie card. Those will be badged on the card at RC, so you'll know, which is pretty cool. Moving down. So now we have new inserts. Those of us that have been around doing this for a little while might think this is a little weird or a little cool. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but this is a diamond card. So we can assume it's this one right here, Diamond Drivers, which it's weird to me that it's a diamond driver insert, but they're listing it as a common insert. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You would think that if it's got a genuine diamond, which it does right there in the middle of where my mouse is, that it wouldn't be common, but maybe the diamond is only in the 1 of 1, and then all the other ones are just a picture of a diamond. That would make a lot more sense to me. As you can see, this is Isaac Hadjaw's 1 of 1. So maybe that's what it is. But I don't know. There's that rookie card badge I was talking about. So yeah, so here's some common inserts. We have Speed Demons, which has been around for a few years. Very common insert. And then you can see here parallels to these sets, meaning the inserts are all of these ones. So aqua, blue, green, so on and so on, except for the diamond drivers, which have no parallels. So little confusing about what they'll be doing for the diamond drivers. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Value box exclusives. So inserts that are only specific to value boxes are called 4 or more and top speed, both at 1 out of 6 packs or 1 per box. So that means that if you buy it's called a blaster box or a value box. Essentially, those are usually around $30. You can get them sometimes at like Target or Walmart, etc. 6 packs usually, 4 cards per pack. So way less of a chance of hitting anything massive, but also a way cheaper price point to get in. I like opening blaster boxes. Sometimes it's fun. And, you know, for Topps to kind of get people to buy those, sometimes they've put exclusive parallels in those that you can't get in the hobby box, which I actually think is kind of cool. And I love the exclusive parallels in them because they're ray wave parallels, which we'll talk about in a bit. All right, so let's go back over here. I relabeled these, as you can see, as uncommon and super short print and things like that, but they just called them on their website challenging inserts. So essentially, we're going to take a look at the insert sets that are super hard to hit. So this is called a Helix insert. So hobby exclusive super short prints are Helix, which is 1 out of 900 packs. Let's go to our checklist here. So we have Helix, roughly 1 per 45 boxes, 12 boxes a case. So you're looking at 12, 24, 30, 1 in every 4 cases, just about, of one of these cards. So if you've hit one of these, you've done well. Vegas at Night F1 75th anniversary logo and the grid. I would love to see what these look like. I just haven't found any myself yet. If you've seen any online or anything like that, just let me know in the comments so I can check it out. Yeah, so super short print inserts are the same as uncommon inserts. They're just literally more rare. So you could technically group all these together if you want. And then this is brand new. So look at this card. What a beauty. So this is called the Grail. It's brand new this year. Collectors for the ultimate chase will try to find all 9 from the Grail, 9 cards from the Grail. Each of the rare inserts, meaning each of the cards, have a redemption code that can be entered at ripped.topps.com/thegrail/F1. And the first and second collectors to redeem codes for all 9 cards will win special prizes. So essentially, if you're one of the first 2 people that gets the whole Grail set completed and you redeem them on the website, you'll get a prize. So check this out. This is the website. It doesn't give us a lot yet. I haven't tried to mess around with this yet, but you can go check it out if you want to. ripped.topps.com/the-grail/F1. So yeah, there is the first collector to register and verify all 9 cards completing the quest will be awarded the grand prize. Going to imagine it's something maybe like race tickets or something, since it's going to be very, very difficult. And if we go over here to P1 Castle's Instagram, they somehow found an image of all of them. So this is technically what it would look like if you got all 9. I think it looks amazing. And I love the Max cards because I'm a Max fan. I definitely don't like Lando, so I'm not exactly thrilled that they put him on there. And Charles Leclerc is cool. I like Charles. But if it's this big card that we're talking about, it kind of makes sense in my mind that it would be more like, I don't know, something like Lewis Hamilton and Max and someone else. You know, somebody with more legacy than maybe even both of these guys. But anyway, I'm nitpicking, but let me know what you think. So according to P1, who are probably correct, they have said that the first collector to successfully register all 9 Grail cards will receive the grand prize, which based on the checklist is a 1-of-1 card plus tickets to a race. There's also 5 runner-up prizes available for the subsequent 5 collectors who register all Grail cards. So, you know, who knows? I mean, it's a cool way of Topps to kind of give back and reward, but these are going to be absolutely impossible to hit. Like, the people that hit these are the people with all the money that buy, you know, all the expensive spots and breaks and stuff. So for us peasants, there's no way we're going to hit one of these. And if I do, it's probably getting sold, to be honest. So here's your pack odds. The Grail, estimated per box, 0.00336, roughly 1 per 298 boxes. So I think I said this earlier, but ChatGPT said that's about 20 something cases, 24 cases. So ridiculously rare. If you see one of these cards when you open a pack, start screaming because you have hit a monster. So that's kind of all it gives us as far as what to look for. If you come to this Beckett website, they have all of the checklists broken down into sections, so you can see the autographs checklist, which is cool. These are kind of this is the breakdown of all of the autographs. So you can see Max, Lewis, Yuki, Lewis. So all of the drivers, obviously. Some F2 drivers, some F3 drivers. We've got 1975 insert autographs, as you can see here, with only a few drivers. That should say Futuro. So Futuro driver, Futuro. Is it Futuro or Futuro? I think I always say Futuro. Anyway, that's usually a rare insert that is a rookie driver or an F2 driver, as you can see here. And then Circuit Masters signatures. So these are all of the autographs from legends that you can hit. Damon Hill, Fittipaldi, Gerhard Berger, Jackie Stewart. So some legends in the sport have autographs, which are cool. Diamond 75th autographs. Looks like it's just most of the F1 drivers and some legends. On-card auto, we talked about. Debut patch autographs, we talked about. So it's kind of it. It doesn't really give us a lot of photographs of any of the other cards or inserts. I don't think that's necessarily been released yet, so we're just going to have to wait. The only thing left to really talk about is what you get in value boxes, which is on the screen here, which I'm not really going to go into too much because it's pretty much all the same, except for this will show you the parallels specific to to value boxes. So the ray waves are the parallels that you will get only in only in value boxes. Here are your odds. So, you know, you get the easiest ones to hit are the black and white ray waves. I've always been a big fan of Ray Waves. I think they look amazing. So I don't mind them being in, blaster boxes, value boxes. I think they look so rad. They're one of my favorites. So anyway, this shows you all of the parallels that you can get. So it's mostly the exclusives in the value boxes. They're mostly exclusives. And then they also include gold, orange, black, red, and superfractor, the same as hobby. And then this is just a list of the specific inserts in value boxes, and then uncommon inserts in value boxes. So I hope that makes sense. Again, this is just a breakdown of value boxes versus hobby boxes. I hope this video doesn't end up being too long. Again, if you have any questions, just throw them in the comments and I'll answer them all. Or hit me up on Instagram at ripstopcards. And again, I'll answer all questions that you have. If you're not new to the hobby and you've been collecting F1 cards, let me know what you think about it. I personally am pretty excited. I don't think the base cards look too bad at all. And I'm excited to see some of these new inserts. And also I'm really excited, again, for those team logo cards. I'm really excited to see what those look like. So if you have any questions or you want to kind of dig in yourself, just come to the Beckett website and find the checklist, and you can kind of go over all of them yourself. If you found this video useful, please remember to hit subscribe. I'll be ripping 2 boxes of this product when it comes out because that's what I was able to pre-order. Maybe I'll get a 3rd, or maybe I'll do a couple blaster boxes or something like that. But since I got my new camera, I'm going to be ripping a lot more. So go ahead and subscribe, leave a like, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.